Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dear Dance. I'm very close to this microphone because my mom informed me last week that no one could hear me. I don't know if that was a personal problem of hers or if it was my problem, so I'm going to just be very close anytime I speak today. Hopefully, the Christmas and Hanukkah beings that gift me gifts, because I'm very lucky to celebrate both holidays, will maybe give me a new microphone because I think this one might be on its way out. But today I am so excited for my guest. He is from New Jersey. He is maybe one of the funniest people I've met in the dance industry. Like, I'm not just saying that. You're gonna see even from this video, like, his personality just shines and is so delightful and needed in this dance industry. He is so talented. He is currently in the Radio City Christmas Spectacular, and he's done that a few years. He's danced on Marvelous Miss Maisel. He's done so many different types of jobs, so many styles, and also just has such a great balance of humor and professionalism at the same time. I was telling him that earlier, and I'm just so excited to talk to him. I know we're gonna laugh. I know it's gonna be great. So enough of me blabbing. Let me share this absolutely, I don't want to spoil it. So I'm just gonna share this video. It shows his talent. It shows, it's just perfect. Okay, let's check it out. Absolutely incredible. Like, I just can't get enough. The bear takes me out. The little kid moment, which, like, his little kid videos, like, we're gonna have to talk about it because I'm just obsessed with him. I wish I knew him as a young child. Like, I feel cheated in life that I didn't get to experience preteen Michael. But let's bring him in. Let's give a really big round of applause. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
am
for having me.
so happy you're here. I'm
I'm so
obsessed
happy to
with
be
you.
here.
You're one of the funniest people I know. So I feel very weird being so close to the microphone, but like, we're giving Hunchback of Notre Dame and I'm okay with it.
Close to
Yeah, get really close. Everyone lean into your screen and just like
I'm leaning.
get personal with us. So our craft for today, I feel like I'm like doing an ASMR video. If anyone is watching and says that I'm extremely loud and that I can push myself backwards, please let me know because I'm very uncomfortable. But our craft for today, I thought, because you're very skilled and I feel like you love a good, like, post-rehearsal nightcap or something like this. Like, I feel like you're always making like cute drinks for yourself. And
Guilty. Yeah.
so I no shame. It's been a rough few years of this panini that we've been in.
It's
Um
panini,
so
right?
so I thought we could try and make some little clay coasters. Fun
Ooh, okay.
fact, yours will not be usable. Well, maybe if you let it dry for a really long time. But I have like
I
some
have
air
time.
dry clay because I have so much from the time that I did pinch pots with Lizzie. Go check out that episode. So I thought that we could make some. I know you have some Play-Doh, so yours is
I
like a little
do.
less permanent. But I think that it will be amazing. Oh, but you have colors. See, I don't have colors. Mine is just terracotta.
What?
So
What is? It looks like Biscoff cookies from here. What is?
it does. It's just like regular,
Oh,
right?
it's like a
Classic
cappuccino.
air dry clay. Yeah, it's not edible, unfortunately.
Oh, darn. And
But
neither is this,
yeah,
unfortunately.
well, there was a kid actually in my kindergarten class who, like, I went to a Montessori school. We had like handmade Play-Doh in the classroom, and I guess it was edible. But this kid, his name was Zach. Sorry, Zach, to be spilling your business, but he would sit
Always
in
a
circle
Zach
time,
that
right?
messes ish up.
Yeah, he was
Always a
sitting in
Zach.
circle time with this like green ball of Play-Doh, and he just would eat it like with a string of Play-Doh consistently hanging from his mouth, and I would be like,
Ew.
so not edible. So
And
don't be like
green, you like
Zach.
might think
Yeah,
that's
green.
other things
It
too.
was not. It was not a good, and that's the only thing I think of him from now on. So I don't know what he's doing with his life, but I hope he stopped eating Play-Doh. But
Maybe he's like an
PSA,
eyes, ears,
don't
nose,
eat
and
clay.
throat doctor. I don't
I
know.
know he definitely needs like he has so much Play-Doh in his system. So all we have to do, you get to have like a lot of colors, so like you can make yours really cool. The way I'm thinking about this is that we're gonna make some coils, like roll out some snakes, and then we loop them together to make them like a nice little coily little coaster. I feel like it'll be cute. I don't know. And I'm imagining you'd probably have to like seal it with something, even with this air dry clay. Um, I'm obviously not a master potter, but I think it could be like a cute little gift. I don't know. I've been like playing a lot of Animal Crossing, so I feel like I can build a whole world in real life. So let me grab some of this clay.
Hmm.
Do you know what color you're feeling?
Well, I definitely want to start. It kind of matches my shirt, ironically, but
Yeah.
this is seafoam
Oh, I love
glove,
that.
hospital glove, under the sea medley.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Beautiful.
that so much. Okay, so all we have to do is get our clay, roll it out into some little rolls. I have two kittens who think that this is food, so they're entering the scene very soon. And let's see here. So I'm just literally rolling
How
it
much are
like
you
this.
taking? Like,
I
is
have
oh,
like a
you got a
hand,
lot, so I might have to combine
maybe.
colors.
Yeah, you might want to do like two colors, I would say.
So a
It also
royal.
depends on how thin your snakes are.
We'll find out, won't we?
That was a
This might
little.
be my first time at this rodeo in a very long time.
I love it. That's the whole point of doing these crafts is like I think as I can only speak for myself, but as a as in my dance life, um, I struggle with trying to constantly get better and not just like be creative in the moment and appreciate like the creativity that I have and where I'm at. And so I love to do these crafts because it's good to be creative and messy and not perfect sometimes. Okay, so I
I
have this
agree.
like
As I'm like holding
snake.
these, like, where do I start? Oh my God, you're so good already, and I'm just pulling them out.
I mean, you just found out what we were doing, and so I've been like planning and thinking about this constantly in my sleep, never stopping, just always thinking about clay. Yeah, I feel like
Okay.
maybe make it a little longer than that.
Yeah. I have to
Yeah, but I think it's going to be great. And if we're able to multitask while we do this, I would love to hear a little bit about your background with dance, how you got into it. Clearly, you started when you were very little. Oh,
I
it's
know.
looking, it's going to be okay. I
It's
believe
a
in you.
PG-13 show, so
It's looking a little wild. I'm not going to lie. I didn't really think this through.
it's okay. You know what? But you said like art is all about making a mess and not being perfect. So
Exactly.
let's hold
Exactly.
it true.
I love that for us. Okay,
Um,
so
I'm a horrible multitasker, so this is going to be really interesting, but it's going to be more raw and pure. So I think it's
exactly.
actually the better way than me like, so I like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Clearly,
you're not
I'm an
going to get my
excellent
perfect angles.
animator.
It's life.
Yeah, I
Oh, we
think
have
it's
two
gonna be
people
great.
now. Hey,
Oh my gosh, hello friends. All right.
thank you. Perfect timing. Um, all
Amazing.
right, let's do it.
Awesome. So, I'm just going to show off what I have so far. It's a little small.
Are you
Yours is going to look
freaking
just
kidding
like it.
me?
Don't worry. And yours is going to be blue, so it's going to be even better. Okay. So, you clearly started dancing when you were very young.
I did. I started at 6 in an all boys hip hop. My
Classic.
sister danced. She's 3 years older than I am. She always danced, and I got jealous. And I would see her doing like batmas during class, and I'd run to the back room and try my batmas. And then, yeah, my mom just put me in like, but, well, no, she said to the studio I wanted to dance. Excuse me. And they're like, well, he's 6, so he can only do boys hip hop. Like, he's too young for anything else. So, I played along. I played the game and did boys hip hop for a year. Loved it. Um, we did Just Got Paid in sync. Our costume was, I have to send this to you, black long sleeve shirt, money symbols all down it.
Amazing.
It was it
I
was
need that
great.
picture.
So then, yeah, just fell in love, and then the next year I started. So when I was 6, going on 7, I started moving up the big leagues, jazz, ballet, and tap. And then from there, I just like joined the little junior company and kept going and did hip hop and tap and jazz and ballet and I just kept going. And I was like a competition brat, so I kept doing that for years, all in Jersey, right
Amazing.
outside New
And
York. That's where I'm from. I'm very lucky to live and be from very close.
yeah, that's awesome. Did you know from a very young age that like this was what you wanted to do forever? Or did you have some other thoughts while you were growing up about like what you might end up doing as a career?
I knew that this spoke to me the most when I was a kid. I had a lot of developmental issues and a lot of like speech. I was in therapy. I honestly I rode the short bus for a while. Like I had a lot of like developmental issues. They had to put me in a program because I just couldn't. You could tell me to pick up scissors and like I wouldn't be able to do it. Like I was really bad. I didn't talk until I was like 5, so I had many just things, and but somehow dance and movement and it always spoke to me and it always just came naturally, and I always had a love for it, um, and I always worked my ass off at it. And I think I still, have a natural ability at it. I think growing up, reality kind of sets in, and I was a little nerdy in high school, and I was like, well, I'm going to work on Wall Street and, you know, make 6 figures. And I was like looking into like business schools and being really sort of practical. And then I think I just got re inspired and was kind of thinking to myself, well, yeah, I could do that, but so many people do that, and will I live a fulfilled life? So then I changed my mind around like 15, 16. Still went to college, still did not study dance in college because I wanted to, you know, have that to fall back on and be versatile. Um, but yeah, I think I always knew I was going to end up going for this, but I think, no, you want to think like, okay, how am I going to make money one day, and how, and where should I work, and what should I do? And so all the thoughts when
Yeah,
you're growing up and trying to clear up your skin and finding your awakening.
totally.
I just have these two long johns. I'm just figuring out how
Okay.
to.
I
I'm
think
trying to
you're.
swirl them together.
Ooh, you could do that. That would actually be really cool, like a marble effect. If you take your two long blue, um, I'll pause there, and twist them a little bit, like twist them like a spirally spiral,
Oh,
and then like roll it out together.
like
Yeah, like
I can't believe this
roll.
is turning into this so early.
I
I thought
know.
maybe the last like 15 minutes we'd have a moment like this and that we'd let it slide for a little while.
Scandalous.
But right from the beginning, we're
I love it. We're getting into the scandalous behind the scenes world of the dancer's brain. If you swirl the blue
oh, it broke off.
tubes, I would say like just kind of like fold it over each other, like keep like smushing it together. And then you should have like a little marbly effect. And I think that that'll be really nice.
Maybe I'll just totally smush them together and then weenus them out together
Yeah,
again.
I think that's a great plan. I love that.
Okay. Just,
Yeah, just keep like playing with it. Just see what happens. You know, whatever happens, happens, and it's okay.
or if it turns into a ball and it falls.
Yeah, you could even like, if you're not feeling the coil, you could like marble it and then like flatten it into the shape of a coaster. I think that would work too. Oh, it's looking amazing.
Say la vie.
Oh, I love that. I love
I
that.
might
Mine's almost done, but I really like that one for you.
I might round one just to like get my feet wet.
Yeah.
Keep this. This is cute.
Yeah, I think that's really a nice pattern.
And then maybe I'll always go back to like the honey sticks I've been making. Just go for that again. Um,
Yeah, I think it looks amazing. I think you're
thank
doing
you.
an amazing job. I'm
Thank you.
really
And I
proud
have
of you.
glasses that are tinier on the bottom, i.e. a martini glass. So I think
Yes,
it'll fit swimmingly on top.
I love that. I love that. So when did you first, I guess your first job that video that starts off your reel as you as a little kid, or did you start working when you were younger because you were so close to the city?
I did actually a year or two before that video. I did I don't know if it's really a job, but I did the Macy's Day Parade.
That's
You could actually
amazing.
you could YouTube it if you look up 2004 because I still have the sweatshirt that I wear
I
every
100%
Thanksgiving I
watched
got.
you
It
on
was
the
the
Macy's Day
Tuttons.
Parade.
Sorry, what did you say?
I 100% was watching that Macy's Day Parade, so I saw you on TV.
It was the Tuttenstein float, and we danced behind Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees. I don't know if you remember them with Nick and Drew Lachey. Jeff was the other one of the degrees, and we were little super mask archaeologists behind them doing like singing "Walk Like an Egyptian." We were like way away. So we did that. I, me and another girl from my studio. So destined for child stardom, and then a couple years ago did the hip hop vid, which was like an instructional hip hop video. That was the first thing you see in my reel, and that was just they contacted my studio because we were right near New York, and they were connected, and they auditioned us, and yeah,
That
that
was
was a,
it.
that
That
was a
kicked
fun
it
one.
off. I mean, it's so incredible.
You
What
need to see
has
the
been
whole thing.
I
It's
do. I
pathetic.
really do need to see the whole thing. I was in a UNICEF video that was about like brushing your teeth and like how people have different jobs. So I had a similar kind of situation. Apparently, it was played on airplanes. I did not get paid for it, but it was translated into 12 languages.
That's the dream right
So,
there, though.
right, like starting young, we were just like destined for greatness. Um,
And
I'm
have
gonna
yet to
show
burn
you.
out.
Truly, truly, we're
Yeah.
amazing. So this is a little larger than I thought. It's also not staying together very well. Um, but I'm hoping when it dries, like I could put a mug on this.
From here, honestly, that you could put a tea kettle on that thing. That thing is it's impressive. That could be a placemat if you went a little further in that
Honestly,
journey.
I could just keep going and make a plate. Who needs real plates when you can just spiral your way to the top?
You could
Um,
floor my house if you want.
I'll consider it.
I'd love to walk
Um,
on your swirls.
thank you. So, fast forward, what has been your best dance experience? Not necessarily a job, because there are a lot of great opportunities that we don't get paid for, that sometimes we should get paid for. And there's a lot of miserable ones that we do get paid for. So I always like to say opportunity, not job.
Yeah. Best dance experience. Ooh, I wish I could think of this before you asked me. I would say I grew up assisting on a couple of conventions. I was in the Tremaine world and then the co-dance world before they unfortunately ended. But I would say getting to assist on those conventions was pretty
Interesting.
huge for me. Just because that was a point in my life when I did want to pursue this. So then getting to work with those choreographers, like co-dance casually, I was assisting like Tice Diorio's class, and I'm like I might
Crazy.
never work with you again, but right now I'm like on stage, like learning his. Oops, drop more Play-Doh. So that sometimes would always hit me, and I was like, wait, this is really cool. And I was, still like a teenager, so I didn't fully. I did, but I didn't fully like I would now totally get it. But I knew then I was like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And then
And
also, there's always
yeah.
these certain audition scenarios, even if you don't get it, but you make it to the end, and it's a choreographer that like you're still in touch with today, and you're like, yeah, like that's how it works. Like this is how you make, relationships and get to know other people. So sometimes I've had audition experiences that were pretty exciting, and just like you make it to the end, you're like, I didn't, I thought I would have gotten cut first round. So sometimes that sort of surprise is also really an exciting thing to
Yeah.
tell your parents about.
I love it. So, how did you end up in the Radio City Christmas Spectacular? Because speaking of auditions, that is like a very, very intense audition just for the dancers alone. Like, not even the Rockettes. I went, I think, like one time, and it was like hundreds of people there.
hmm
When did you first enter that world?
well, I guess this isn't related, but I tried at the end of college. I went for like their spring show. So that was like, I guess, my first technical audition. But for Christmas, it was a few years later. Made it to the end. So it was, for those who don't know, it's basically between the first day of calls and then the callback day, it's 2 days I think there's 5 rounds of the first day. And then the callback day, they have you doing your old combos you learned, and then you're learning new combos while learning lyrics with them. And you have to sing and dance at the same time. And often it's like these kind of dances where it's like very, like it's hard to do together, at least at first.
Yeah.
Um, so I tried my first year, did not get it that year, but I made it to the end, and I was like, you know what? When something opens and the moment's right, it'll happen. So I came back the next year, and I got it, and it was pretty much the same process. You come in, there's hundreds of you. You start with a jazz round, and then you go into a different combo, and then you go into like a more charactery, like a Santa combo. Back when there were Russians, we did the Russian round where you're doing like the Russian jumps and the squat ups that those bears do. Luckily, I never had to do that bear. And then the next callback day, they take it down to about, I think I remember it being like 18 or 19. So they cut it pretty
Wow.
fast. And then the callback round, you're doing your old combos, and then we're in the toy shop doing our elf dance and learning lyrics to it. And like I said, it was pretty. So yeah, longest, one of the most stressful processes, but obviously very worth it. And I'm glad to be with them, and I love every minute of it, honestly.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite number that you're in, a favorite like dance that you get to do?
Ooh, I don't want to give too much away because you got to come to the show,
I
but
know I need to come.
I love finale
Mm.
because it's just good jazz and we're traveling and we're using our lines and there's snow falling down and our costumes are glittery and it's just joyful. So I love that. And then what else do I mean I love doing it all. As hard as it is, I really do love doing the show. And then I would say I always have fun in the Nutcracker being Sugar Bear. I mean,
I am so obsessed with these dancing bears. I've actually only seen I saw the tour of the Christmas Spectacular. I think when
oh,
I was like
okay.
12 in Boston, but I've never seen it in New York, and I need to go because of course you're in it and then Dee and Sydney. I
These are
know
my
you guys are in
yeah.
different casts and stuff, but so many amazing dancers. I need to make it this year to go see the show. Hopefully, I can get there. But the dancing bear is so funny. And, like, how do you even move those eyes? Like, how do you do that? It must be so hard while you're dancing. It's like magic.
It's a lot. It's hard so I did it for the first time in 2019. And it was a struggle in the beginning because number one, the head, unless you get it right, it could move and you're only really looking out of the lips. So Sugar, she has lips and you can really only see out of like her mouth hole. And that's pretty much it. So unless that thing is secure, like it's all over the place. So that was hard. And then just realizing you're in big, wide fur, like you're basically in like a tent. So everything you do has to be so like exaggerated because if you just do it standard, it's not going to read. So that was
Mm.
hard as well. But once you find the groove of it and know what you need to do and it becomes a thing, you can just have fun with it. You pretty much have freedom unless it's very inappropriate to do whatever you want. And I mean,
That's
I have
so
fun with it. It's
fun.
tiring. You're running the whole time and it's heavy, but I think it's a blast. I love it. I love when it's the right audience too, and they laugh, and then you know what you did worked. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Like for Free Britney, when Britney was free, I channeled Britney for most of my
I love
Sugar, so I
it.
went into that and the
Did the audience pick up on it?
I don't know. It's hard to in my cast because we have like the day shows, so I wonder if
Right.
like it's people with their kids. So I wonder if, but with Invited Dress, they picked up on it. It was all like, dancer friends and people in the industry. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. Amazing. So, one other dance job that I'd love to talk about is Marvelous Miss Maisel. What was that like? Because that's like going back into a whole different time period. And I know that, is it Margaret Derrickson? Is that
Marguerite Derricks, yeah.
Marguerite Derricks? I'm always like combining her name together. She's so cool from everything I've seen and like heard about her. What was that process like? Because that show is so awesome.
So I have wanted I met, and I finally told her this story when I last worked with her. I met Marguerite at Codance convention when I was 11 years old, and she had just choreographed Austin Powers Goldmember. So we did in the junior room that combo with Mike Myers and the dancers, and they're in their 70s gear. And soon enough, Britney Spears comes in. They have like a duel. So she taught that. And obviously, like that, when you're that young, you don't fully get it. But I knew what she had done and what she had choreographed. And I knew I was like, from that age, I just loved her movement quality and her choreography. Fast forward many years, and I was like, I want to work with this woman one day. And it didn't happen right when I wanted it to. Many years passed. I went to college and whatever. But, things that for the first time when I first got to work with her, I fully believed like things happen when they're supposed to. And if it's meant for you, it'll come around. And I was so happy to work with her the first time on Maisel. I auditioned, she runs like a tight audition. It's so great, so efficient. We wear numbers.
I
No one
love
does
it.
that anymore. It's so great. And I remember that day I cried after the audition. I didn't know if I got it or not, but I made it to the end. And even that, in and of itself, I was just so happy because I thought of like little Michael with like bushy hair dancing her stuff, and having always wanted to work with her. So being able to have a, a relationship with her and continue to work with her it's been a dream. And Maisel is so fun. I love period. That's my favorite kind of thing to work, like 50s, 60s. I just think it's I can't even think of the word. It's rad, and it's a dream. Anytime I get to be on that show, it's a dream. So, but I would say out of any choreographer, just dance style, just her jazz and style wise, I think I feel like that's closest to my natural dance style. So
Mm,
I was like, when I got to work with her, I'm like, this is perfect. I Yeah, I
yeah.
adore her. She's been doing this for so long and for a reason because she's amazing at what she does, and you wouldn't have three Emmys if so phenomenal. I think everyone watching this needs to look her up, study her. Yeah,
Totally.
she's
Totally.
phenomenal.
Okay. Now it's time for our first game.
To
Oh,
figure out what
you
I'm
made
doing.
purple.
I'm doing purple. I was
I love it. Is that a new one or is that like you
So I
combined
have
colors?
coaster, and now
Okay.
I have
Yeah.
purple, and I
Okay.
was
Let's
gonna,
see what you make with it. I love that.
yeah, just another one of these that we all know, and
I'm here for it. I'm here. It's been a long panini. Okay. Let me get my little. It's time for Would You
oh, I gotta drop
Rather.
it for this.
Oh, yeah. Are you ready? Okay, so I'm going to pick randomly some Would You Rather questions and let's see what we get.
Okay.
Would you rather have all soft and fluffy textures feel like sandpaper when you touch them, or always have to use a stranger's toothbrush to clean your teeth? Not great.
I feel like especially in today's times, probably. I mean, I love my soft, furnishings and whatnot, but I guess they'd have to turn rough.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best choice.
I guess I'll just like put on Band-Aids
Yeah,
so I don't feel it.
there's workarounds.
Yeah, I've
Okay,
never been asked
next
something like
one.
that before.
These are very strange would you rather questions.
I'm here for it.
Would you rather have the hiccups for 2 hours every day or have to eat without using your hands or cutlery?
Have to eat without
So
using
just
hands or cutlery.
face in the food.
Yeah, because I could choose hors d'oeuvres. That could just pop
Yeah,
right in.
just
I love finger foods anyway. I just won't use my fingers.
easy, easy. Okay,
Yeah.
last one. Would you rather have a snake wrapped around your left arm from now until eternity? Or you already have a snake.
I already have one.
Or have to wear clown shoes every time you walk.
So the snake, like a real one,
Yeah, live snake forever around your left arm. Never leaves you
or the
while you're
clown
dancing.
shoes.
Yeah, or clown shoes.
I'd say clown shoes because I feel like one day in Brooklyn, I could just see it happening
Yeah,
fast. Like I could
fashion.
just see it blowing up.
Yeah, you could be an influencer. You are an influencer, honestly.
I feel like I'm a reverse influencer.
People see what you're doing and do the opposite.
Yeah, in that way. Yeah, actually, no, you're right. I never thought of that way, but you're quite spot on.
I don't think that's true. But I love that. Okay, let's talk passions outside of dance. Clearly, Play Doh and clay, big passions of yours. I know because you're just doing so stellar with these Play Dohs.
I think this became one today.
I love that. And it's going to be a feature. Do you like the smell of Play Doh?
I normally do. I'm just not, and no one be scared because I'm fine, but I just don't I remember it being more potent when I was little.
It's probably healthier now, so they probably like remove some chemicals or something.
Maybe that's it. But like I can smell. It's just not as grand as I remember it
Mm.
being. Or maybe my nose got bigger.
I don't know if that affects your smelling, but who knows, honestly.
Maybe it
So,
got bigger and the smell stayed the same, so it just didn't
ah,
infiltrate my
yeah.
nose hole. Whoever's
I
watching
love
this,
that. I
sorry.
love that. So, besides Play Doh, what are some of your other passions?
Your cat. um, I'll be honest, I feel like I live the life of a housewife. Like a stereotypical housewife where I don't have like a crazy like, oh my God, I'd never know. Like he rock climbs. Like I'm just not, I love my fitness. I love my coffee. I love my cocktails. I love my reality TV. I love getting with, the girls and catching up and of course, I love what I do, but yeah, I don't have and I own it. Like I don't have a
A
crazy like
side hustle or like a crazy. Yeah, I love that. I think that that's so
no.
important. Like, you're a real human who
Yeah, and
dances.
I'm probably boring like that, but I get by and make it interesting by just, telling people about what I'm into. And we somehow, a lot of my friends are on the housewives like I am, so that's been like a huge topic. It's
Hmm.
caused fights, like, huge topic, always keeps it entertaining.
What's the
And,
latest in Housewives news? What can you tell the
well,
people?
New York's taking a year off because they can't get the casting like where they want it, and the current season did not do so well. Even though I thought it was still pretty funny, I thought it was pretty entertaining, but the ratings weren't as strong, so they're gonna recast it. And Beverly Hills is already filming again, and they just had their reunion, and I'm trying to figure out Erica and
I love it.
I,
I don't know much about the Housewives world, but I see you post about it, so it makes me intrigued. So honestly, you are influencing me. Maybe this is a sign that in 2022, I delve into the Housewives world.
maybe I'm like a real influencer, not just like a backwards influencer.
I think you are.
People are like, "You're wearing Uggs? Okay, let me return mine." I love Uggs. That's another interest. I do love my Uggs.
Ooh, bringing it back to 2007. I love that.
I went to the outlets today and I had a little fun.
I love that.
I really
Something
am living like a stereotypical housewife. It's
I love that.
it's embarrassing, but I will say because people are probably like this privileged little ass. Excuse me. I work side hustles. I teach. I choreograph. I used to do samples at grocery stores, and then I, was doing something and I wasn't able to work as consistently, so I kind of was let go. But typically, yeah, teaching dance a lot, workshops, classes, choreography, all of that when I'm not performing.
Yeah.
So I do work.
You no, you do work, and
I
you're
do
also
other things.
very booked. You're
I
very
want to
booked
get
and
that clear.
blessed. No, totally. But I really do appreciate like how real you are, especially on social media. I mean, that's like where we see everyone these days because we're still like, I mean, I'm still in my house when I'm not at work. Some people are out living life as if we're done with this little panini. But, I think something that I just love, especially like your social media presence. I think that it's so refreshing just the way that you share your videos of like when you were little, making these videos in your room on your like iMac or whatever. Like, it's just so fun. I know there's like this whole big conversation of like Instagram has to be like our resume, and there's this whole big debate, or I don't know if it's a debate, but a lot of people are like, you need to make sure everything is super professional. This is where you get jobs from. But clearly, you can also put in a little pizzazz and a little bit of, I think it's important to show who you really are. I love that.
Just wrapped it. Maybe it's like a wreath.
Yeah. It's
I don't
looking
know.
it's looking like something. I love that. But yeah,
Something.
I love your social media presence and just how honest you are, and like it just gives off the feeling that you're unafraid to be yourself and just celebrate who you are. And I think that that's really inspiring and necessary in a world where we're so like put together all the time. And
Hmm.
it's so refreshing. So I just love that you make those choices.
I appreciate it. I think many things about it. I think, of course, will I make sure there's a dance video or a credit or at least a decent looking picture of my face and body, every fourth post? Absolutely. But at the same time, and I think it's just the older I get, getting older sucks, but it's also great in ways because you just start to, of course, I'm still hard on myself. Of course, I still work hard. Of course, I have my moments. I had a moment today. We're human, but at the same time, you learn to let things go and you learn to make fun of yourself a little bit and you learn to just have a little more humility and yeah, I mean, yeah, my Instagram should probably have a bio. But I enjoy like I enjoy posting things that I think are funny and just real to me and it seems to have not that I even do it for attention because I don't. I'm not, I don't have a crazy following. I'm just doing it for fun, really. But it seems to relate to many people, which I do appreciate. And where am I going with this? Oh, and as far as the sister, as far as the videos, those are in my sister's room that I took. She had the iMac, and I would just go onto her iTunes, and it was all, G Unit and Keisha Cole and Chingy and oh I can't just hip hop and R&B and Alicia Keys and so I would just pull those songs and start queening out to them and yeah I would leave her I called them leaving her presence because she would I guess somehow like them even if she was lying and we still have the computer so I just pulled them up and pulled up my music videos and
I
let them
love
rip
them
I think
so much. I need to share some of them because it just really shows it's like dance is like it when you're in it professionally and you're like doing this as a job and it's serious and it's hard and it's difficult, but then to like think back of like I started dancing because well or I danced because I couldn't not. Like it
hmm
was just in you. It's like joy expressed through your body. Like, and just watching those videos of you when you're little, like it just reminds you. I think it's like, I'm making it this like really deep thing, but I think that
no
it
but in
really
a way it
is.
is like and I feel like that little queen still lives in me today. Like I have friends that
Yeah,
watch
and it's
those
like,
and they're
how
like,
do we
"You
tap
are
into
still
that?
that
How do we
person."
find it and like bring that out? Like, I remember forcing people to like learn dances that I made up to like Backstreet Boys songs and like, especially those like early 2000s. Like, everything was kind of just like, like wild back then. Like, I don't know, things were just weird in the early 2000s. So, like,
They were colorful. That's what they were. They
yes,
were
and like
colorful and loud
glittery
and
and plastic and I don't know. It was just kind of like a weird time and I just love seeing those videos because it's a reminder to me whenever you post them that it's like, I love this. And like, we do this because we love it. And like, it's not perfect all the time. And it's not always fun and it's not always easy. But like, finding that little Michael Pesko in yourself, like, if everyone can connect to that, I think the dance world would be like so much better.
I just feel like, well, even like non-dance related, you know how when you're little and you just don't care what other people think and you run free and you like just run around and you're wild and loose and then once people start making fun of you, you start to like recoil and like pull back and you kind of hold back and so I think in a weird way that was like because that was the age when people start to be like little shits and start to bully and I think that was my way when I was in that bedroom. I knew I could just do whatever I wanted and be free and just silly and be myself. And then I knew I was starting to get to the age then when I was like once I'm in public around the boys, like kind of like pull it back a little bit. But it's sad how and then also in the dance world, like there's such wild abandonment, and then once you feel some sort of rejection or someone talking about you or just weird shade or just anything negative, you start to like pull back. And I think we all need to remember why we, at least in the dance world, why we do this. In the real world, we need to remember who cares what other people think, and let's just, because you're not going to live, and I tell myself this, like, you're not going to live a happy life unless you live an honest life and you're true to who you are and you don't, I'm not saying be rude, but you can't like hold back who you are just because you're afraid of embarrassing yourself or you're afraid of, someone talking about you, because the right people who should be in your life appreciate how weird we can be. That's
Yes,
just my
I
2 cents,
love
but
that.
so
I
I enjoy
love
watching it
that.
too. Yeah, yeah,
I love it. It's like, it's
yeah.
really like such a deep moment for me when you post those things. I'm like, oh, yes, I need to connect back to like little Haley, because like she would have wanted to be friends with little Michael for sure.
We should have been friends, and we're
I
around the same.
know.
I'm definitely older than you are, but let's say
No,
we're around the same age.
I think I'm older than you. I know, scandalous. We'll
No, well,
chat
you're not.
after about ages.
Yeah, you're still in your 20s, so yeah.
Shocking. Revealed on the podcast. I am almost 31. I know. I'm sorry to shock everyone like that. It takes people a while to deal with it sometimes.
Well, that's impressive, and I'm not going to ask you for your skin care here because I don't want to waste
I literally don't
time.
wash my face, so I don't know. I I am blessed. I accept that. But on that
Wow.
note,
Well,
let's
I just made a female identifying reveal her age. I think I'm canceled. I think I've done everything wrong.
No,
I'm
I
turning into
love
a
it.
heart.
I
It's
love
like a punk
that.
rock heart.
I love that. It's very 2000s, like Avril Lavigne. Like, I'm here for it.
So I've done everything like I shouldn't do with these, but honestly, it's cute. It's
I think
pretty.
it looks
It's
really
now.
nice. Yeah. 2000s are in. You're bringing it back. I think you did an excellent job with the craft. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it.
our last game, let me get
Okay.
my little. Sorry if
Questions,
that
questions, questions, questions.
blew everyone's ears out. So I'm gonna pick randomly from our little questions here, one of each color, and we'll see what we get. Some of them are deep, some of them are funny. You can always veto if you don't like one, but they're not really that crazy. Let's
Feels
see.
very Andy Cohen. Watch what happens live. When they're like, I plead the fifth.
It shouldn't be too crazy.
My Bravo fan will know. Oh, well now we're getting like many eyes on us. I don't know.
I know. They saw your Play-Doh creations and they wanted to come in. All
I
right,
heart you all for coming. Thank you.
pick a color.
Oh, okay. Purple because it matches the logo.
The branding. Thank
The
you.
branding.
By Maya Kazaz, who was a past guest.
Oh, it's my girl. Hey,
Yeah.
Maya. I mean, she's not here, but hey, Maya.
She might watch. Hey Maya, we
Maya.
love you. Hire her.
Mwah. Love you.
Okay,
Yeah,
are
she's
you good
amazing.
at she is. Are you good at forgiving people? Deep one to start off with.
I think it depends on what they did,
That's fair.
right? So if it's something like if they've apologized and it really didn't, you know what? If they've apologized, I would say I'm good at forgiving.
Yeah.
I would say if it was something they don't realize like why I thought it may have been wrong, or they just didn't feel the need to apologize about it and it rubbed me the wrong way, I would say I kind of look at you a little different. But it has to be something. It can't just be like you bumped into me and didn't say sorry. Like it's a little more,
Yeah,
you know.
deeper than that.
Yeah, I'm not petty.
I support it. Next color.
Oh, blue.
What is a bad habit you're trying to get rid of? Ooh.
Oh, I mean, we could go like really surface, or we could go really. I play with my hair a lot when I'm anxious. I have very bad anxiety, and my I take it in my hair. So I should probably stop doing that so I don't need to, put some creams on my head to
You have
grow
a
it
very
back.
nice head of hair, though, so I'll give you that.
Thank you. It gets very if I don't put my Frizzy's conditioning product in it, it could be like fro. Like it can get wide
Wow.
and bushy. Yeah. Um,
Wow.
and then I guess just like another like I guess like it's like too deep, but like just like, putting myself down when I don't need to. I feel like I always assume like the worst rather than the best, and I put myself down probably as like a defense. I don't know.
I feel that.
So
I'm right
I
there
should,
with you.
yeah. Oh yeah, we've talked about this.
We're
I
gonna
got mad
we're
at
gonna
you.
work on that. We're gonna work on that in 2022. We
Yeah.
got this.
We got this.
Okay, next question.
Let's like go the non-obvious. Let's go orange. It's hiding in the back. Let's
Ooh.
pull it out.
What is the best joke you've ever heard?
Okay, well, something right for YouTube in the public. Oh God, I wish I knew. Oh, I wish I knew beforehand because I would think. But
It's always so hard to come up with jokes right off the top of your head.
can it just be something like really funny that I saw
Yeah.
happen many years
Oh
ago?
yeah, that counts. That counts for sure.
This is really like this is kind of not mean, but I just thought it was really funny. There was a girl we were like driving, and there was a girl I saw just kind of standing, and there were sprinklers. Sprinklers go like in a circle, and this girl, and she reminded me of myself. She just had no awareness that the sprinklers like were on and going in a circle, even though they were right next to her. Like we could hear the spritzing like with closed windows, and she just stands there, and then she starts to pick up a leaf, and then the sprinkler just gets her right from me. Just
Oh no.
and I know like I'm really like I don't know how that came about, and I'm gonna think of five better things immediately, but I just this happened when I was like 12 years old, and I'll always think that was just hysterical.
Yeah.
Just that she didn't hear the sprinklers and she just starts like picking up a leaf.
And then just bam, sprinkler. Oh my god.
But I'll tell you, I'll DM you my
Yeah, tell
my
me more
not
if you have. I'm
friendly
sure you
one.
have a lot of I'm sure you have a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
last one of these. If there was a sandwich named after you, what would be on it?
Oh man, are we going sweet or savory?
A sweet sandwich? I mean, I'm here
Like a
for
PB
anything.
and J, like no,
I
I
guess
would
that does count
say
as a sweet sandwich.
I guess okay, if we're going regular sandwich like salty dreams, I would say pesto,
Oh, genius. Yeah, duh.
um, mozzarella.
Oh,
We love
okay.
mus.
The New Jersey is coming out.
What kind of meat? Well, I love prosciutto. I don't know if that would taste. It's my
Do
sandwich. We'll
it.
put prosciutto
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
Let's put some. Let's put some. Let's put some truffle on
Yeah, I mean,
it. And and then let's dip it because I love to dip. Let's dip it in not a Worcestershire, but not like a hoisin, but something in the middle of like a dumpling sauce and like a steak sauce, just something like a brown in hue and a little salty, a little sweet, like a
okay.
balsamic Asian
Glaze.
yuzu,
Wow,
something
there's so many words.
something not norm. Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
love that. What kind of bread?
Ooh,
That's a big part of a sandwich.
I love like flat, crispy. So maybe it'll be a panini.
I
I
love that.
love crispy, crunchy. Even my cookies, I'm like, I need a crunch.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, the last question that I ask everyone is what brings out your most creative self?
It's a loaded question. I would say, I would say in some ways, looking at my not messed up but not so normal childhood, I get very inspired by that because I realize that that's kind of why I am the way I am now and how
Mm,
I will be in the future. So that's kind of inspiring in a weird way, just thinking of like the progression of my life. And as I lose a viewer, thank you for coming. Just kidding. And then I would say music. I feel so dull without music. When I'm just listening to
Mm.
silence, or I'm in the car with my mom and she wants to listen to talk radio, I feel like I'm just becoming stale, like in an unshut plastic bag of rice cakes. Like I just need music. It keeps like my collagen flowing. It keeps me feeling creative. It brings out movements in me that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't find that in the
Mm.
dead silence of my home. So I would say, yeah, two very different things, but I would say those are what brings out things in me that are creative. And also, if you wake up to pee at 4 a.m. and you can't go back to sleep, somehow I have thoughts that I have never thought of thinking. Like I just
Wow.
am, if anyone ever, the four of you here, if you ever want to, and that's not a read on you, that's like a reflection on me where I'm like, I look at me, you're great. I'm looking at it as like my viewership. Um, if anyone
You're
is like trying to
fabulous.
write theater or choreograph or maybe set your alarm if you go to bed at a reasonable hour, maybe set your alarm for 4 a.m.
It's like a
and wake
magical
up.
hour for you.
I swear I have thoughts, I very strange across the map thoughts that never come to you during the day. So might work for
Hmm.
you, but 4 a.m., like 3, 4, when you're just awake at
Prime
night,
time.
can't sleep, yeah, and
Wow.
they don't
That's a
stop.
new one. Oh,
Hmm.
are you okay?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine because I have pills, so I have the right pills and the vitamins and all that, so I'm fine through the night now. But but I did acknowledge that.
Amazing. Okay, and where can people find you if they want to watch your amazing, hilarious videos and also your beautiful, talented dance videos? How can people get in touch with you?
Oh, thank you. Well, you can find me on Instagram at M as in Michael Pesko, Pesko. It's, but as the influencers say, it's down below.
Yeah.
And also, it, kind of current, but if you want to come see my show at Radio
Yes.
City, we are open now through January 2nd. I am in, if you look on my, I'm going to repost it on my Instagram because I feel like Facebook, it's not even worth having people go to my Facebook.
Right.
That's for mom's friends from high school being like, handsome. Thank you. But, um, but on my Instagram, I'll repost it. But if you look at my schedule, I'm in the shows in blue. So I have more of like the day morning shows, and then Tuesdays I'll take the nights, which is great
Amazing.
because then my show's over before happy hour. So you should
I love
come and
it.
then grab yourself a drink or a water with lemon after.
Use one of our
And
amazing coasters.
that's gorgeous.
It just fell apart when I lifted it up, so we'll just hide that fact.
Well, I mean, it was big enough. Like no one would know if a snake or two fell out. I'm starting to get weird.
Amazing.
But yeah,
Well,
come see the
yeah,
show.
everyone go
I'd love
see
to have
the
you.
radio. What is the official name of the show? The Radio City Christmas Spectacular? Is
No,
that the
so they
official?
rebranded it. That's the old
No
name. So now it
way.
is Christmas Spectacular starring the Radio City Rockettes. And
Oh,
they're
good to know.
phenomenal. They're phenomenal. The show is beautiful. We have a new number this year. It's fun, it's
Ooh.
beautiful, it's funny, and it doesn't matter where you sit in the theater because if you're in the orchestra and you're close, great. But if you're in the mezz or further back, there's projections literally throughout the entire theater. So there's no
Wow.
bad seat. It's beautiful
Amazing.
everywhere.
Everyone has to go see it. It's the perfect. It's like time to get in the spirit. Thanksgiving is next week, so everyone get your tickets. Go see the blue cast. You can see the gold cast too, but definitely go see the blue cast.
I mean, I'm in blue. The gold is great too, and I love the gold. But if you want to see me personally, come to blue. And there will be
Amazing.
discount codes as well on my
Oh,
Instagram that I'll post.
awesome. I'll
Hmm.
share that. Awesome. And if you'd like to see me, my personal Instagram is just Haley
Oh,
Grove. And then if
Right.
you would like to follow the show, which would be greatly appreciated, you can check out Dear Dance Pod on Instagram and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, essentially Haley. And also subscribe on Apple or Spotify. The audio version of this podcast interview will go live in a few weeks. So definitely check out all of those things. Those are all free things you can do to support the show, and they really help. And then if you are really, really obsessed with the show, there is the
They are.
Patreon. Oh yeah, they're really obsessed.
I can feel it.
And yeah, they're really into it. If you would like to follow the Patreon, you can join. It's only $5 a month. And you get behind the scenes stuff, a list of like craft supplies, so you can do all the crafts with us. And the thing I'm most excited about is when we get 100 patrons, I'm going to be starting the Dancer's Dream Grant Program, where, oops, I just hit my microphone. I'll be donating $1 per patron every month to a dancer who has a creative project that needs help being funded. So that means with 100 patrons, it'll be $100 a month, and then hopefully I'll keep growing, and we can support dancers and, create our own art, or pay dancers what they should be getting paid when you hire them, or, renting studio space, using it however you see fit as a dancer and a creative person. So those are all the
Yes.
things I have to plug. Thank you so much for being here. I hope my audio
Thank
was
you
better
for
this
having
week.
me.
Thank you for
I just have to show
crafting
the
with
final
me.
product before we go, because if it wasn't for you,
We
this
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have
this art in the world. Thank you.
now it smells really good now.
Oh, pro tip:
Mm,
aged
tip.
Play-Doh.
Yeah.
It's better than fresh.
Thank you so much for having me. This was lovely, just to get to catch up with you in live in front of
Yes.
everybody.
I love it. I love it. Hopefully we'll see each other actually in person very soon.
Yes, I am here. Come see me.
Amazing. Have a great night, everyone.
Mwah. Good night, everyone.